The girl was looking at the moon through her telescope. Then she saw something strange and unusual. Meanwhile, David was looking at his satellite screen. He felt as if a huge storm was about to hit the Earth. The next day, David received a call from his wife. She said, "Come home immediately." David immediately left his office. His office was actually a boat floating in the ocean. Suddenly, a terrible tornado struck from the sky in the middle of the ocean. The poisonous cold gas generated by the tornado froze the people working on the boat as soon as it touched them. As soon as David heard about this, he immediately rushed to the boat, but he found no evidence of what had happened to the people there. Slowly, that same cold wave reached the girl. In the blink of an eye, she turned into an ice statue. Her life stopped at a young age. At that very moment, a young surfer was swimming stylishly towards the shore. He was completely unaware of the blazing cold air coming from above. The next moment, the wind froze him too, and he became as stiff as a piece of wood. As soon as David saw the wave approaching the shore, he immediately ran with his daughter. As soon as it reached the ground, the wave became even stronger. Father and daughter ran desperately and somehow managed to reach the car. David started the car, pressed the accelerator, and escaped the cold at the last moment. While running, he called his friend who worked at the warning center. He told him, "The cold winds have now reached the beach. 2 students have died, and the winds are now blowing even faster towards the city." The friend immediately informed his superiors. But meanwhile, the cold wind continued to chase David's car. Frightened, David called his wife, "Don't leave the house. Smoke inside. Wear as many warm clothes as you can. Whatever happens, don't go outside." Just then, the National Weather Bureau received an alert. They realized the situation was spiraling out of control. Emergency warnings were immediately played on television. People who were having fun ran home in fear. Windows and doors were barricaded with wooden blocks. Schools immediately began sending children home. Panic spread through the city. People began looting essential items from supermarkets. Items that had been lying around for years disappeared in minutes. Demand for everything from heaters to blankets soared. People were racing against time, and alarms were sounding throughout the city. The cold wave had now reached the coastal areas. Those who were late in evacuating their homes began running around in panic, but no one could escape the terrifying cold. Wherever the cold wind touched, tall buildings turned to ice in the blink of an eye. A passenger plane was about to land but accidentally got caught in the same blizzard. Within seconds, the plane exploded in midair. People exiting the supermarket were frozen in the cold wind. A shopkeeper looked out the window and breathed a sigh of relief, knowing he was inside. But then a cold wave entered through a crack in the door and froze him too. A woman, who had refused to heed the warning, drove away with her child instead of hiding in the basement. As she loaded her suitcases into the car, the cold wave froze them both. David and his daughter continued running through all this. The cold wind kept chasing them. Finally, they reached the meteorological station. As soon as they entered, the cold wind engulfed the entire lab. Fortunately, the lab was built deep underground. No oxygen entered from outside. That's why David and his daughter survived safely inside the lab.